How you guys doing today? My name is Atono J, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about finance. We're going to be talking about some very interesting topic about finance. We're going to be talking about mortgages. We're going to be talking about how to plan for your retirement, and we're also going to be talking about how to start a business in Canada or in North America. I'm going to be bringing someone, is a resource person in the finance industry. He's going to be giving us some advice, some tips and tricks on how we can start our business in the finance sector, or how we can start our business here in North America. He's a licensed financial advisor here in Canada, and he has a license to give advice in terms of finance. So he's going to be advising us on how to start a business in Canada or in North America, telling us on how to manage debt. Some of us are neck deep into credit card debts and all other forms of debt. He's going to advise us on how to go about that. And also he's going to be telling us about education planning for our kids and some other fun stuff. Okay, so just stick around.
Hello, Smalls.
Hello, brother. How are you doing today?
See you.
That's me. What's going on?
Very well, very well. You're welcome on board. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. Good to see your happy face.
Yeah. Thank God it's Friday.
It's Friday, man.
Yeah. So now that we have you on board, what's going on? What do you have for us today?
Well, I'm just here to listen to you and answer your questions, man. Whatever question you have. Just want to have a cordial discussion with you and have fun with my brother.
Oh, nice. That's very
nice. Because of coronavirus, we cannot meet face to face. So technology, we can talk like this. So I'm just happy to be here and talking to you.
Very well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Silvanus Fongo. He's a financial advisor here in Canada. He has a license to give financial advice around the North African houses, correct?
Correct, very correct.
All right, so he's originally from Cameroon, so he speaks both English and French fluently.
And a little bit of Yoruba,
So, Mr. Fongo, tell us, we have a lot of questions to ask you about the financial sector. And one of the questions I'm going to push out right now is strategies to reduce taxes paid even for high income earners. You know, a lot of people are high income earners and they pay a lot of taxes, and it has become a concern, especially those of us in North America. So what advice do you have for us?
The first thing I just want our audience to understand is that, you see, in this country, when you earn less, you get more government benefits and you pay less taxes. When you earn more, you pay more taxes and you get less benefits. And still pay less taxes while benefiting from these government benefits like child tax benefits, Ontario Trillium benefits for those who live in Ontario. And basically, the secret is for you to be able to not to depend only on your job, but to have a registered business. Yeah. When you have a registered business, you can have business expenses. So if you own a home, for instance, and you have a registered business, lots of our African brothers and sisters are either teaching English or they're selling dresses and they're just doing it amongst us, and you just come and buy and go. Why don't you get a register your business and sell those things using that business? That way, you can actually reduce your taxable income. Wow. You can also contribute some money into your RRSP. Okay. It is money that you will use for your retirement. You can also use it to buy your first home. But then, if you contribute into RRSP, it helps reduce your taxable income. Oh. Now, just general advice. I'm not going to advise everybody to contribute in the RRSP, but when you talk to me one-on-one, or when you talk to your financial advisor one-on-one, they can look at your picture and tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. So I just gave some general tips there, but there is more to it, depending on every case.
On a case-by-case basis. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you talked about retirement. I needed to throw more light on that. You know, like before this section, I had a one-on-one with you, and you said retirement is the longest vacation. So I needed to explain more about retirement. Tell us some things that we need to plan so that we don't run into troubles when we are retired.
Right. Thank you for that question. It's a very important question because, like you said, and you're right, retirement is your longest vacation of your life.
Absolutely.
Retirement is not about age, right? To me, retirement is freedom from work and freedom to travel. If you are retired today, it means you can travel anytime you want and you can get up at any time. You're free from work.
True.
So when we talk about retirement, we talk about retiring comfortably because everybody is going to retire at some point, but how comfortable are you? When you go to Walmart, you will see some old people welcoming you to Walmart and say, welcome to Walmart, go get a card. When you take your kids to school, you'll see some school crossing guards. They are always old people. Have you ever noticed that? Do you think these guys just love you to give you the card at Walmart or to cross your kids? It's because they did not plan for their retirement. You and I are going back home to Nigeria, for instance, for 2 weeks vacation. We take another 3 months just to plan. And we shop around, we shop for flights. But right now, none of us is talking about retirement. So it is important for us to start planning our retirement today. You need to know how much you will need when you retire for you to be comfortable. So you don't get to go back to work. You don't get to go back to school crossing, functioning as a school crossing guard. So some of the ways to plan for your retirement is basically either contributing with your employer, increasing the amount of money, or making more money and even contributing into your retirement savings plan, or even just having investments out there that can grow with time so that by the time you retire, you have enough money to retire comfortably. And again, financial advice is not something that you can just give generally in the air. It's always in a case-by-case basis. But here I'm just giving some general nuggets, and if anybody is interested in looking at it in depth, then you can always talk to their financial advisor or they can reach out to me. I am open to talk to anybody anytime.
Nice. So I like when you said if we don't plan our retirement on time, we may run into troubles because there are cases where you see people that are in their 70s, 80s are still doing menial jobs just to get by. So it's really risky if we don't make plans for it right now, because like the common saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point there. So we I needed to throw some more, give us some talk about education planning, because this is about planning basically. So what advice do you have? Because I have a friend that's putting some money out for his kid for the Arrow ESP, so that when the kid is about 18, the kid can get monies to go to school. So a lot of us don't really know the whole story behind this Arrow ESP. We just do it because our financial advisors are advising us to put money out for our kids. So what advice do you have for us? Can you really tell us in details what this RSP is about?
So that's a very good question because it's about our kids and their future.
Yeah.
And previously, in the past weeks or months, there was this general cry about Black Lives Matter. Yeah. And what I personally think as an individual is that Black education matters. Sure. And so for us to have that education, we need to plan, because like you said, failing to plan is planning to fail. Now, talking about registered education savings plan. In Canada, you can either do a group registered education savings plan, or you can do a self-directed plan where you basically manage it either with banks or with the investment companies. But when I talk to so many people, they know that what they tell me is that when you contribute money, the government is going to match it with 20%. And that is totally wrong. The government is definitely going to add some money, match it with whatever that you contribute. to a maximum, there is a cap. And the government has a cap of about 7,500 that they cannot go beyond. And you as an individual cannot contribute more than 50K into that account. So this is something that everybody needs to understand. If you cannot contribute more than 50K and say you want your child to become, say, a neurologist or specialize in heart surgery, for instance, 20 years from now, what will be the cost of that medical school? It's going to be above 70, 80K. And if you're only contributing 50K, then how will your child go to school? It therefore means that your child will have to leave school and go work at McDonald's just to supplement their education. And by so doing, they might end up not doing well in school, and then you find them on the street doing other stuff that you and I don't like. So it is better for us to think there are so many other strategies. You can either open a self-directed investment, or you can even invest in a universal life. Because remember, whatever you put in RRSP is only meant for education. What if your child decides to become a pastor and to go to the school of theology? That is not part of the curriculum in Canada, and they maybe don't consider it as education for them, so they are not going to sponsor that. What if your child decides to go to a Bible school? What if our children decide to go back home? You're only planning for their education. But guess what? The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22, that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So while you're planning for your kids today, think about your grandkids. Think about some generational blessings that you can give unto the others. Even with $50 for a newborn child, we can show you a plan that not only takes care of your kids' education, but can take care of, your grandchildren's education. So RESP is a good product. I don't deny that, but there are so many other strategies. You can invest that money with investment companies. You can put that money in a whole life or universal life plan, and that will generate lots of money for your kids.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Talking about investment here, there's a lot of us. I just came in from various parts of Africa, maybe Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, Botswana, and we are new in this North American ecosystem. We are not really used to that kind of business. So what advice do you have for young entrepreneurs that are trying to start a business in Canada or in the US and need someone to really hold their hand and point them in the direction or on how to make a good best investment? What advice do you have for them?
Well, you talked about starting a business and you talked about investment. I am not I cannot really, I don't know if I'm going to give advice on starting a business, but the general advice I can talk about business is that if you're thinking of starting a business, then you are already 2 steps ahead of the game. And I applaud you for that, because a job to me is just a journey of the broke. A salary, when they give you a salary, when you depend on a salary, it's a bribe they're giving you to help you forget your dreams. Did you get that? Yeah. When you depend on salary, you're receiving a bribe from your employers so that you can forget about your dreams. Now, talking about investment, which is one of the things I am licensed to do, most of us keep our monies in the banks, and the banks gives us 0.01 or 0.1 or even 1%. But we don't think the other way around. When you go take money from the bank in terms of a credit card, the bank charges you 19.99%. So why is it that when you give them money, they give you 1%, and when they give you the same money, they charge you 20%? Means the bank is now taking that money to go invest it somewhere, or they're giving it out to other people. How about you start doing that? Or how about you take the money from the bank and put it in an investment company? From today, and this is to everybody that's listening to us, when you drive around, you will see Scotia Bank. Look closely, you will see Scotia Asset Management. That is an investment company. What if you can take that money to Scotia Asset Management, TD Asset Management, not TD Bank? Make sure you study this thing closely. You see that these are 2 different companies and they have 2 different names.
Yes.
Investment is, you can take your money there, invest it maybe with Toronto Stock Exchange or with big companies like Tesla, Apple and all of that. Talk to your financial advisor, they know what they're talking about. It can help you grow your money. Remember that money is the best slave. A slave that does not complain, does not sleep, does not eat, works 24/7. So if your money is, if you are sleeping, then your money should be working. If your money is sleeping, then you are working. So which you choose, whether you want your money to be working while you're sleeping or you want to be sleeping while your money is working. It is possible out there. People are making 20% a year, 22% a year. You too can make it. Just talk to an advisor. Don't go to the bank and listen to those guys there. The banks are good people. They are good places, but you need to do your own homework. Find out what the banks are doing, what other people are doing, and you join in.
Sure. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. One more question before we wrap it up for today. Debt management. Now, a lot of us are neck deep into this credit card drama. You know, when you come to, perhaps, for instance, okay, when you come to Canada, you can get a credit card and you can spend as much as $2,000. And sometimes, if you're not very disciplined, you run into a lot of debt. So some of us are trying to get advice from financial advisors like yourself to know when and what we should do with our credit card and when is the best time to get rid of our credit card.
Yes, that is, everybody falls into that trap. I fell into that trap as well when I first came because they gave me a credit card, free money, right? But what I want to tell our audience, your audience and our people is that a credit card is a very good thing because cash is king. When you have access to money, you can control, you can do and undo, but don't use money that is not yours, right? Don't get into debt because there is this concept called compound interest and simple interest. When you get into debt and you're paying compound interest on whatever money you owe, it basically means that you are paying interest on money that you've already paid back simply because you borrowed the money from somebody. So there is no point canceling credit cards. Some people say, I don't want, I'm going to cancel, or I'm not going to take more. If they offer it to you and you qualify, take it. But just don't use it unwisely. Always make sure that you use what you can afford and stay out of debt because this is the greatest killer. It kills our finances so bad that we don't even understand what the system has made. The system is organized in such a way that you are allowed to pay what they call minimum payment. But what our people don't understand is if you borrow $10,000 and they ask you to make a minimum payment of $1,000 every month, it simply means that you're paying that company a salary of $1,000 for giving you money, and you can pay that $1,000 for the rest of your life. Because by making minimum payments, you are not bringing down the debt that you owe. So we should graduate from this ideology of minimum payments and try to pay off our debt completely so we can be debt-free, like really debt-free.
Right. So you didn't just get this knowledge from reading newspapers. Of course, you must have gone through some trainings. And can you tell us more about what you do, and so that people that really want to know you personally can reach out to you one-on-one and get some more advice, because of course you can give you have the license to give financial advice in North America. So people really want to know how they can get hold of you. What is, do you do training? Do you train people on finances, or you're just doing this for leisure?
Thank you very much for that very important question. So to me, it's now become a passion. Like I talk about it passionately because I have helped so many families, so many people get out of debt, help so many people build good financial foundations for their families, help so many people with investments. So what I really did, like I wrote an exam that is called Harmonized Life License Qualification Program, HLLQP. And I also wrote a mutual funds license. So you study for those, you get those licenses now. because finance is a highly regulated field. Now you're now licensed, and then I also got training. Like there are other people that have been doing these things for the past 30, 40, 50 years. They mentor us, they teach, and we do the same. So we're basically educating families on basic financial concepts that can help them change their lives. So we are looking for more young people or old people. There's no age limit. If you're interested in finance and you want to work with us, we are open to training people and educating people, and it's totally free of charge. There is no time I ever sit with the client or with the family and I give them a bill. No, the trainings are completely free. All the knowledge we share with you, with our clients, is free. But of course, it's not just a hobby or charity. We do get paid by the same financial companies that they will go to. For instance, if you wanted a mortgage from BMO, as a financial advisor, I can provide you with a mortgage from BMO. But the difference is I bring that mortgage to your kitchen table and I explain to you the different types of mortgages that exist. Compound interest mortgage, simple interest mortgage, what is the difference? Now you have more knowledge, you now make an informed decision. I now ask BMO to provide you with that mortgage without you displacing yourself and at an even cheaper rate, because I bring more clients to BMO than you as an individual. So it's better to work with a financial advisor than to go directly to the financial institution, because they are only interested in providing you the product. We are interested in giving you the education. So yes, we are open to training anybody that's willing and wants to learn for themselves. If they even want to do it as a business, we are also open to showing them how they can start up their own business.
All right. So you also talked about you helping first-time home buyers to buy their first homes. How can you make that possible? For instance, maybe I'm just arrived in Canada and I don't have any knowledge about the housing sector here in Canada, and I want to get a home. How can you help me get one?
So basically, it's like I always said, it's a case by case. It depends on whether you qualify. But just coming in as a newcomer, say you don't have a job, you've never worked in this country, but you came in with some money. You can prove that you came in with money, say from Nigeria back home. I know we have businesses, we were working back home, you come in with money. You're allowed to put down 5% as a down payment. And if you can show proof that you were working back home, we can actually walk you through, a newcomers program with the same financial institution like all the main banks. And we also have what we call mono lenders. So people don't understand that. They think that you can only go to a bank to get a mortgage. You can actually go to a mortgage company that specializes only on mortgages. They're going to give you the same mortgage at the same rate or even better rates, but they're going to consider you with less stringent, regulations, because they know that you're a newcomer. Now, we also have some other first-time home buyers, people that have been in this country for a while, and they think that buying a house means you need to have 100,000 saved in your account. What I tell people is that I have helped people buy their first home in 90 days without them having a down payment.
Wow.
Now, there are strategies out there where we can find this down payment for you so you can buy a home, because if you want to save money to buy a house, you basically be, how do I put it, shooting a moving target, because each time you try to aim at the target, it goes, the prices are going up. So say you want to take time to save money to buy a house, and we find a way to give you the money today so that you can buy that house using some government programs. And then while you're in the house, the money that you wanted to be saving, you can start paying back to the government program where you got the money. Don't you think that would be a good thing? Right. So there are strategies out there, and we've helped so many people buy houses, and it's a good thing. Put a roof over their heads.
Yeah. So one more question. I know we're supposed to wrap it up, but the questions keep coming in. You've basically talked about North America, Canada, and how your services are just basically about people in Canada. I'm going to ask you, do you offer services to people outside of North America or outside of Canada?
Yes, I do. Money doesn't have a color. The fact that it's a naira or it's a CFA or it's a euro, it's a dollar, it boils down to the same thing: money and finance. So the knowledge is kind of general, and I am open. I talk to so many people, even back in Cameroon, who are trying to invest, and they're trying to, I help them with navigating the system and what they need to do, what they don't need to do with their money and stuff like that. So we are just passionate about educating families. We believe that no family should be left behind, not in Africa, not in Europe, not in North America. But yes, I am only licensed to be paid. You know what I mean? To be paid in North America. But I can give advice all over the world. I am not licensed in Nigeria or in Cameroon, but I can advise people and, you know, friends and families and help them navigate the system. So yes, we are very open. We just share what we know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Silvanus, for your time. And I want to appreciate you for coming to our show today and for giving your little advice and your time to the African community and the global community at large. So Mr. Silvanus Fongo is a financial advisor here in Ontario, Canada, and he is licensed to give financial advices. So if, for instance, you are new in Canada or you're about to come into Canada or you are in North America and you were trying to get through with your finances, this is the guy you want to speak to. And I'm going to drop his information on the description so you can always reach out to him directly and ask him questions, and you can ask him any questions. So thank you very much for your time. My name is Otonoji, and this is my YouTube channel. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.